22. I'm glad you caught that. Usually, yes. So, page 90 in On Being Human. Yes, I love this book. Thank you. It is one of my favorites. It is completion in society that humanism demands, for how may the natural tendencies. It is completion in society that humanism demands, for how may the natural tendencies and aspirations of man be fulfilled, except, in Cercio's phrase, in what is most natural to man, society, quae maxime est secundum naturam humanae genesis societum, and what philosophy has seen has a necessity in the realm of the natural has been revealed, has still more necessary in the realm of the supernatural. If we segregate ourselves from the mystical body, our life is robbed of its fullness, is robbed of the grace which flows through the veins of the mystical Christ and vivifies his members. Robbed of this life flow of charity and of its effect in this life, the inchoation of eternal beatitude. Humanism demands the perfection of man's natural altruism. The solidarity of Christian life in the mystical body is its fulfillment. The modern American humanists are keenly alive to the significance of human solidarity, of the absolute necessity of the practice of human brotherhood. But the gospel of humanity, for all its vigor and energy, is largely negative. Indeed, in spite of their rejection of traditional religion and so much superstition, incapable of coming to terms with modern science and civilization, it is in the main only by reason of these negations, of this negations, that they differ from Catholicism. The denial of the supernatural leads, in the first place, to the sad foreshortening of their horizon. It reduces the limits of self-enrichment to the proportions of the purely natural. In the second place, it leaves man in the undeniable weakness of his merely natural powers. You sense your isolation, that you are physically alone in a terrifying and uncaring universe, and that when your little span of life is done, you sink down into extinction, into the blackness of darkness, forever. Christian humanism is by comparison immeasurably richer. Not only is the completeness at which it aims immeasurably greater, its attainment also is immeasurably more secure. And that solidarity which the American humanists stress is not a question merely of external service or of sentiment. It is a solidarity of supernatural life as well as of natural service, a communion so intimate that in literal truth the spiritual riches of one become the treasure of all, a unity so organic that the life of one is in fact the life of the whole. The earth we share, on earth we share each other's labors and sorrows. We need one another and succor one another. The particular gifts of each are the service of all. And grace, which is the formative principle of the supernatural fellowship of the saints that brings us to the ultimate breadth and height and depth of our human personality, for it brings us to the measure of the stature of Christ. It is the city of God that must be built on earth, if humanist aspirations are to be wholly fulfilled. It is in the adjustment, in sublimation of both rational self-love and the altruism that the fulfillment is achieved. In that love of God and of his creatures which unifies and vivifies all humanist values, which effect the last all-embracing synthesis and perfection at which solves what is otherwise insoluble by opening the inevitable incompleteness of earth, the crowning vision and inchoation of the infinite completeness of paradise, where every desire of man is fulfilled, according to the song, who satisfieth thy desire with good things, and every human endeavor reaches its consummation. That in Cunda Societas, where inasmuch as each will rejoice in the happiness of others as in his own, so the joy and happiness of each will be increased to the extent of the entire joy of all. Thank you. You're welcome. Much love, health, and peace. It is 6:33. Gotta fill up water bottles for school.